Hi guys, welcome back to Beauty Within. It's your two hosts,
Rowena
and Felicia, and today we're going to be running through our current and kind of updated skincare routine. As you guys know, we try a lot of products, but when we're at home, when we need our go-to, these are kind of the ones that we're reaching for.
Yes, and as always, this series will be fully unsponsored. So rest assured, these are our favorite products that we keep going back to. There's a lot of tried and true favorites that you guys will see. Some products may be repetitive or they may be in recent videos, but it just goes to show that after we tried it, we just kept coming back to it and kept using it because they are that good.
Yeah. In the transitional seasons, our skin does go through different changes and we'll reflect back on the ones that we've used for a really long time and why, but also with the newer additions, what we like about them. So without further ado, let's just get into our updated routine.
Starting with Fel, your cleanser.
So this one is actually a newer addition. This is the one that we both tried. It's the Tatcha, the rice wash. And I think why I love this one now is because when it's cold outside and you feel very dry and crusty, you just want this like velvety blanket to kind of hug your skin at the end of a rough day or a cold day where your face has like got a beating. I think it was after when I rode home on the city bike, my face was like plastered just with like, oh my God, so cold. And this consistency is like no other.
Yeah.
It's like literally this plush cloud. Oh my gosh. And then when you kind of emulsify it, it becomes even more of this soft cloud. And in the formulation, there's the Okinawa algae, which as we know is a great humectant that draws in moisture, but as well as that, it instills moisture. And it's got a very subtle rice exfoliating quality. It's the rice powder, but I just love the kind of like milkiness of it.
It is very luxurious, the most luxurious of all the rice washes I've used.
It does say that this is for normal to dry skin, but I think with cleansers, you can, like most skin types can get away with using cleansers because it is a wash off.
And it is very nourishing.
Yeah.
And hydrating. I think that's why it's for normal to dry. But I realized this wash for me actually, it sensitizes my skin. Always turns a bit more red after I use
reddened.
it.
Yeah. And one interesting thing that I also realized is out of all their products, this is probably the strongest scented. Like, do you remember when you use it? Like
It smells like Japan. If you think of Japan, it smells like Japan.
yes, this concoction of just like rice, seawater, and all this
cherry
other stuff.
blossoms in the springtime.
So there's that. What are you using?
I've been using the Naturium Purifying.
Naturium.
Totally butchered that. Clarifying Cleanser Daily Detox Treatment. That was, I think, the French version. Is that French?
I wonder what that means.
Francais. Purifying Cleanser.
Oh.
From Tata Harper. This texture is amazing. It looks like a gel, but when you work it into your skin, it turns into like a beautiful, luxurious oil.
Ooh.
Like the texture you're talking about, like the hugging your skin, this hugs your skin.
Yeah.
And the oil base of this is sunflower seed oil. There's also grapefruit oil. And we know that anything oil-based can help unclog all that is congested and popping on your face. There's also kaolin clay, as well as another type of clay in here that helps absorb even more of the impurities. Right, I think you can kind of see it when you squeeze it out at first. Tata Harper is known for having a lot of really cool extracts like broccoli extract, and there's just a bunch of plant-based superfoods in here, I guess.
Yes, it truly is like fun to face.
Yes, there's also papin, which is a natural enzyme that's kind of like AHAs to help gently. Yes, this is papin. So gently exfoliates your skin, and there's also willow bark extract, which is a natural BHA.
Wait, so is this, can you use it like as an oil cleansing? Does it break down makeup?
I actually haven't tried because I usually like using a balm for that now. You've gotten me to start using balms. But I like using this at night if I have just sunscreen on, or maybe even in the morning, just as like a gel to oil cleanser without even putting water there, and then emulsifying it with water and then washing everything off. It's very gentle.
But it's got everything.
Yeah, oil, clay, AHA, BHA.
So that's interesting because it went on kind of like looking milky, and then you work it in and it's oily, and then you spread it on and it becomes like an oil.
Yeah, and they have a very unique scent that is similar across all their products. It's very like florally herbaceous. I love it.
So I feel like especially because, you know, there's less humidity in the air now, it's getting a little cooler. I find comfort in hydrating products, especially, you know, following on my love for spritz toners. There's another one that we recently discovered, and this is from Whamisa, which is also one of those Korean brands that aren't talked about a lot, but they have a lot of really great, simple, and like natural in that it's all kind of plant-based too. And this is their organic flowers Damask Rose Petal Mist. First of all, you can't help but compare it to the fresh rose toner, right? Because there's literally rose petals in it, and it's also beautiful. So comparing the two, the fresh rose is very hydrating, and it's got a little bit more goop to that toner.
There's like 3 types of rose: oil, essence, extract, water.
So this one, I feel like in terms of the way it feels, is a little bit different because it's more lightweight. But the cool thing about this is don't be fooled by the fact that it's just damask rose that you see. There's also a plethora of different flower extracts, including chrysanthemum, which we know is like a very soothing, calming. It's also got lotus flower, which is an antioxidant, and it's also got dandelion, which gives the skin vitamin A, C, and E naturally. But like when you apply it, oh my gosh, it's like, yes! It's like being at a spa almost.
Oh, this is a great mist.
Right?
It's very even.
Yeah. And all of Whamisa's products, they're known for their fermentation of ingredients. And what's cool about this one as well is that it's got a little bit of natto gum.
Ooh.
Yes. So in that water cream that we really love, they also have natto gum, but you don't feel it. So what I do is like spray, press it on, give it 10 seconds, spray another one, press it on again, and it's like, it really is self-care.
I just imagine you riding home on a bike with it being so cold, getting like whiplash from the wind, and then your skin barrier's all like sad.
Yeah, and it's flaking off.
And then you start like, the rice wash, this is great. And then you spritz your rose. It's like, I'm in a flower field.
I need to make like, you know, those really dramatic slow-mo movies out of this.
When you're just riding.
No, but that's actually reality, guys.
Especially when it's cold.
But yeah, this is so awesome, and I think probably one of the closest dupes to the fresh. Are you using a toner?
2.
Ding!
I think I've talked about both of this before. I'll just start with this one. This is from Round Lab, and I love using this in the mornings when I don't want to wash my face. I think it's a multifunctioning toner.
Kind of like the Sun and Puck beauty water?
Yeah. And so I would say this is at night. This is most mornings now. Because you know how sometimes in summer when it's really hot and humid at night and then you wake up in the morning, you're like oil. So in the winter time, or now that it's getting a lot cooler and I'm more cold, and then I use something like this at night, the creams that we'll talk about, I still wake up feeling like plump. So instead of feeling like I need to wash off a layer of film on my face, I'll just go in with a cotton pad and something like this, and then the rest of my routine.
Yeah.
So in here, there's only 16 ingredients, which I think is what makes it so soothing and hydrating and great for people with, you know, over-exfoliated or compromised skin barriers, or even just like as a refreshing toner in the morning to just wipe everything off. There's sugarcane, which we know is very hydrating and has anti-inflammatory properties. There's also seawater, in like the deep sea water cream in the Purita, my favorite Purita. Just mimics the like
the skin's
water.
natural hydration. Yeah. And isn't it interesting? Glycolic acid is actually derived from sugarcane, but it's not glycolic acid when it's formulated in here. So aren't interestings mucho interesting? Okay, so then you follow on with the toner that you've talked to death about by now, and you guys know.
Amorepacific. Single vintage single essence extract.
Eggplant.
We got there. Some combination of those words. There's only 6 ingredients in here. There's fermented green tea. It's so nourishing, it's so hydrating, and we just made a video talking about how green tea can help with
Balancing your sebum.
Yeah.
Because of the tannins.
Yes.
In green tea. Amazing.
Amazing.
So therefore it can help with your pores as well.
Yeah. So after you spritz a flower bed on your face. What is next?
The tantalizing flower bed. Then I'll go into, okay, so like I'll use these kind of depending on mood because they both essentially do the same thing, inject hydration. But this one I love layering because it's just 100% mugwort essence. This is from I'm From and it's got one ingredient, which is that. And so when I layer this on top of this, I do maybe like 2 or 3 layers and it doesn't leave it sticky, it doesn't leave it tacky, it's just pure like hydration for calming and soothing, which is everything that we need, right?
Mugwort's an overall superstar ingredient, very similar to centella, where it's super soothing and great for people with inflamed, like angry skin.
Yeah.
It'll just
Yes.
calm with your varmint.
Yeah.
You're okay.
And some people even say mugwort is like the love child between vitamin C and tea tree because it's a really great antioxidant, naturally derived, and it can also help kill off bacteria that's on the skin without, you know, using a chemical exfoliant to do it, which might cause irritation. It's kind of like this, they work in similar ways.
Yep.
Yeah. So that is mine. What about your serums?
Serum to beat that well. Let's go with the Hyaluronic first. This is Glow Recipes Plump. I was gonna read Plump Plump. It's Plum Plump. Plum Plump. Hyaluronic Serum. Very hydrating, so glowy.
Yeah.
Makes your skin so dewy. Like never before. Okay, no, I'm exaggerating a little bit, like it's so good.
It is. It's like a water jelly.
It is. And then you work it into your skin and it kind of stays in the same consistency and makes your face look as plump and jelly as it is.
Yeah, it really is that kind of glass skin finish. Because some serums, when we put it on, it like goes on like a jelly and then it just dissipates, that water bursting effect. But this one glides on for a bit and leaves it radiant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in here, there's 4 different types of plums. There's the Kakadu plum and another 3 types of plums. Of course, there's hyaluronic acid, there's different molecular weight, and there's also niacinamide. So I think that's what helps with the glass skin appeal and look.
Yeah.
And as we talked about with Alicia, in our interview with her, she talks about how hydrating your skin can actually help with things like hyperpigmentation and just like a slew of all the other like skincare issues we may have. And the same thing with you and your like PIH. For me, it's the freckling and the sunspots. And when we first started, I can just take a winter to lighten my freckles.
Yeah.
They never like really fully go away.
Yeah.
But now it's like even taking a winter, no matter what product I use,
Yeah.
it's just there.
Yeah. And like, I think for you, it's about like maintaining it, right? Because like freckles will never go away and I don't think that's the point, but it's about like in the summers, they get enlarged and they grow.
Darker.
Yeah.
Until I found this. So this is Naturium's Mandelic Topical Acid 12%. There's also niacinamide and a bunch of natural fruit extracts in there. When I first started using this, I just didn't really have any high expectations, as with most products that I've been trying these days with my freckling. But after consistently using this for a month, it has gotten lighter. But then one day of not protecting your skin properly can just
Undoes everything.
Yes. Yeah, but I will say Mandelic acid has been great for my freckles.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah, seriously, you guys should check out our recent video on AHA, BHA, PHA, and everything to do with that because mandelic acid in that is great for sensitive skin. It does everything that like a glycolic would do without the harsh irritation that it could bring, but it also comes down to formulation.
Yeah.
And I think what they did with this mandelic acid was like so lovely.
Stellar. What about you? Serum.
Now that you mention your serums, I haven't even been using serum. It's just been full on like watery toners and essences, and then I just go into a moisturizer.
Amazing.
Yeah, so this is the moisturizer that I don't use for a large chunk of the summer months because it is so silky and nourishing that in the summers I'm just like, I don't need it. But whenever it gets slightly colder, I find myself like coming back to it. And it's because the texture is just so like, do you remember?
Oh, yes, I do.
I can't even describe it. It's not a lotion, it just glides like silky, milky, over the skin. So this one is from, I didn't even mention the brand, I was so like excited. This is Atem, and this is their super cream. And although it says it's like age defying doesn't mean it's only for old people. It just means that it's great for nourishing the skin, because as we age, we get more dehydrated, right? Also in the winter months, we get more dehydrated. So something like this is great, and it's got peptide complex, it's great for sensitive skin, and it's also got a milk protein, which is full of amino acids, and both the peptides and the amino acids are solely what helps to build the skin barrier to make sure the skin cells are like this rather than like this.
Your skin looks so nice.
It's just oily.
No, it looks so nice.
Oh.
Like it looks so plump and even.
Yay! I'm not gonna say that it's due to one product, because it's not, but it really is injecting hydration and then sealing it. Yes, I love it. I also mentioned this in my previous oily skincare routine, like maybe a year ago, so you can tell that when it comes to winter, I always come back to this one. And Susan, the founder of this brand, is our dear friend. They have a great cream, and milk protein isn't even something that I've ever seen in any product.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. Wow, so I see you have 3 moisturizers.
So there's 3 because I've just been rotating between these 3 the past few weeks, and I couldn't pick. I really couldn't pick. But they're kind of all similar, but not.
But not.
Not. Okay, I don't even know where to start. Okay, actually let's start with this one because this is gonna be the quickest one.
Okay.
This is Make Prem's Safe Me Relief Moisture Cream. There's only 12 ingredients. It's, I believe, an updated version of the micro tension cream that they've since discontinued. I would say this is actually better than the micro tension cream. Yeah, like this might be a little creamier, but it still has that subtle watery water cream effect.
Yeah.
And it leaves my skin glowing. And in the previous video where we compared the 2 side by side, our editor was like, Ro, this actually looks so much better on your skin. And it's true, and it feels really great.
Yeah, it's kind of like a firmer version of this.
Yeah.
You know how it's like, it's not thick and whipped, kind of like the Lala Retro?
Yeah.
It's like silky. You know when you see a moisturizer and it's shiny?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's so great.
It's like whoosh.
So in here, there's squalane, there's glycerin, there's raspberry extract that's high in antioxidants. And this is also formulated at a pH of 5.5, which is like the perfect. It's like the porridge that's just right for our skin barrier.
Yeah, it just means the acidity level is like at the optimum, so that it's not irritated, it's not too dry, and it's skin-like.
Yeah. And then the other 2 that we'll also talk about, this one, you just talked about this one in the recent video. Oh my God, the Clinique Moisture Surge Intense Cream, the 72-hour lipid replenishing hydrator. I buy into that. Like, it is correct.
It's like, I don't even know how to describe. I think it was a surprise to both of us.
Yeah, because I grew up using Clinique because my mom would have the yellow one, the very classic yellow one that also kind of smells like this. But when I tried this, you know how my gauge as like dry skin is if you put a moisturizer on at night that's super creamy and thick and nourishing and great, how does your skin feel when you wake up? If it feels the same, then it's amazing. If it is like a little bit dry, or you feel like dehydrated, or you feel like a raisin, then that's like, okay, it's not as great as it claims. This one is great.
Yes.
So in here you can find ingredients that are very common, like squalane, vitamin E, that's all very nourishing. There's also centella, which is something that we both didn't really expect from Clinique.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
It's been a while since we've tried these kind of like, they were the big giants.
Yeah.
Like Clarins, Clinique, you know, they've been
Estee
around.
Lauder.
Yeah, of our like mom's time. But I think what they did with this baby is like so amazing.
It is amazing. That's why now in the morning, all I need to do is just wipe my face with this, or I just wipe my face with water.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's still so nourished when I wake up.
And the application is so enjoyable.
It
You know how
is.
It just like glides. Oh my God, it's so nice.
It's so great. Yeah. And then we have the 107 Everyday Pump Hydro Cream. So 107 is a brand we actually talked about way back when Beauty Within started. They had the essence in the skincare kit that we got from Costco that looked very different from what they rebranded everything to. And I would say they did a phenomenal job with the rebranding.
Yeah.
And 107 is known for their 7 years aged vinegar. That's great to ingest, but also that they put in their skincare products that just gives you the most glowing skin of all time.
Wait, I haven't even like dug into this one.
My goodness, you're missing out.
Oh, okay, so this is like probably the more lightweight one of all.
It's lighter weight for sure, but it's still so hydrating, so nourishing, and it gives you a glow. But I will say that out of all 3 moisturizers, this one's probably the shiniest in terms of the ingredients in here. So with the 7 aged vinegar, it's a blend of 3 different types of rice, as well as a lot of Asian herbs. And then through the 7-year fermentation process, it brings out like potent dosages of amino acids, postbiotic, malic acid, and like a few other things I just can't remember off the top of my head. And there's also a bunch of like fruit extracts in here, like peach. There's also rose damask water, I believe, and sunflower seed oil that's naturally high in vitamin A, D, and E.
Who would have known in such a little simply packaged thing, yes.
Yeah.
Gotta love our moisturizers in the winter. It's not even winter yet, but it's like basically.
We're getting there.
So my kind of last ones, I've actually been using an eye cream purely for the sake of self-care. So, it's oily from the moisturizer.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so if you guys have been watching along, following along, I love the fresh black tea line more than life itself sometimes, you know? There's the kombucha black rice.
Bold claim.
Yeah, essence. But this is their firming eye serum. I do love the cream, which is more of that thicker consistency. You know, eye creams we don't talk about a lot because they're not really going to help with dark eye circles. That's just a tall claim, you know, marketing. What's really gonna help dark circles is internal hydration, drink water, and sleep. And fix your diet. But as the weather gets colder, as we age, we also lose hydration under the eye. And sometimes you just want a little bit of self-care, you know? So I've been toggling between this serum because it is more lightweight. So if you have, what are you loving?
It's like, that bike ride home has done a lot to you to be able to bust out the eye cream.
I'm withered. I'm weary. That bike ride has changed my life for the worse. But alas, we have found an eye cream. But if you guys, like for you, if you get milia around here and you don't want a cream that sits a little too heavy, then this serum is like a gel. So I go obviously under here. You don't actually need to pat it too far up because it will kind of just spread naturally. And then anything left over, I literally just put over the entire, and then even on my forehead. And then we have lip care, because lip care is probably the most important in winter.
It is, oh my God, it is. So many days, my skin wakes up so beautiful and my lips are just like, where did they go? Just fall off.
I can just see you going to the...
Hi. This one is from Maid Sarah Cream. It's like the Maid Sarah cream that we have, that we love.
The pink one.
Pink one, yes. This one is very similar. There's madecassoside in here, of course, that's why it's Maid Sarah. And then Sarah is for the ceramide. So this is, if you imagine your face and skin barrier and all the things that it needs, I think there's skin barriers on our lips too.
Dude, it's so important because I don't think people realize, but your skin on the lip is the thinnest everywhere. That's why it flakes away in the winter, because it's literally dying. It's like, and like the reason why our lips are red is because you can see the blood vessels underneath, which just means that the skin is indeed very thin. So you gotta like look after that, baby.
Yes.
So what's the purple one and what's the pink one?
So purple is the original. This is just, as you guys can
it's like
see.
the same as your vest.
Uh-huh. I'm just
Literally
gonna
the
wear it
same.
around my neck like a little necklace.
Like a vial.
Yeah.
That's how important it is for her.
No, it is actually so important for me. If I don't moisturize before I go to bed, I wake up like how I just look like SpongeBob and Patrick when they're out of the water for too long and they're drying in the SpongeBob movie.
Damn!
And then you have the number 2, which is the Magic Pink. This also looks clear, but with heat, it changes colors.
Love that. Ooh, beautiful. I'm always curious how they design the color changing. I remember the first lipstick that I ever got that did that color changing thing was from a brand called Lipstick Queen. And it was like green when it came out of the tube and went on like beautifully flush. I was like, what is this actual sorcery? Tell me.
And then this color, I think it's very similar to like the Dior. They also have one like this. I think there's a lot of high-end brands that have something like this, the My Lip But Better. So this is very similar to that, and it just accentuates your natural colors.
Yeah.
What do you have?
So I have this one. It's a newbie to the lip family. You guys might know I just love using the fresh, caramel lip thing in the pot. They came out with like a bunch of other flavors and stuff, which are just great because the consistency is amazing. Anyway, so I've been using this honeydew lip mask, and I think the most exciting thing is that it was honeydew. You know, it's a very like Asian fruit that you really don't see anywhere apart from bubble tea. Like honeydew flavor. Little fun fact, I used to work in a boba tea shop and honeydew milk tea was one of my favorites. And it smells like it, it's like sweet. But yeah, it's kind of like a lip mask. Honestly, I don't need this much nourishment. I almost use it as a lip gloss. Because I'm not like you where I come up shriveled. So as well as the honeydew, it's also got honey and avocado oil as well as squalane. All of them is like very nourishing. But it's also got a little bit of lactic acid that gently helps to exfoliate your lips without irritating it. And lactic acid was something that I was very like peaked about because it makes sense, you know. Then I Met You does skincare. So lip care is skincare. I think we all forget that sometimes. But yeah, honeydew lip mask. Ding. So that basically wraps up our most recent routine. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think the takeaways, hydration, locking in that hydration with a moisturizer that you really love, and remembering that the skin on your lips and eyes is also skin. So to conclude, what have you learned this week?
That done is better than perfect, and that progress over perfection is what we should all be striving for.
All I see is those like this over this, this over this. True. And what made you think about that?
A lot of us don't go around thinking we're perfectionists, right? But when you break it down side by side, there's a difference between striving for excellence and demanding perfection from yourself. So demanding perfection from yourself is a lot like it's other driven. So it's what others think, what others may view me as, your fear of judgment, your fear of like being criticized, or your fear of not being enough. I think that's all demanding perfection from yourself. While striving for excellence, it's like an internal thing. It's like, how can I better myself? How can I work on myself and push myself to go as far as I can? And it's a you thing, like you're doing it for yourself versus doing it for other people. And I think when you put it side by side, you realize, or for me at least I realized, like I did so much most of my life for other people when you should be doing you for you. Because that's what matters at the end of the day.
It's interesting because I think like you need a bit of both. There are things that you do just for yourself, right? Like self-care is purely for yourself. But in that, I also realized, kind of like going off of that, you're doing things like self-care so that you can show up and be the best person and version of yourself for others. So it really is this like holistic approach. First, you need to be able to like be okay with thyself, and then like with that, you're paying it forward. And I think maybe sometimes you might think you're like an introvert or you're just, you know, being alone, but we're all part of a community, you know, whether it's like your team, whether it's your family, and, you know, if they matter enough to you, they deserve your best. So you deserve, you know, putting in the effort to be your best so you can like share that. Ro Fel's thoughts for today. Leave us what you think, any of the questions that you have below on skincare routines, on specific products, or just on life. And thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you again very soon. Bye.